this video we'll make a minimap using render textures. Let's get right into it. So as you can see, I have this very simple scene with a player that we can move around. But of course, it's very much in need of a minimap. But in order to create a minimap, we need a second camera that can render our scene from a top-down view. To do that, let's deselect everything, right-click in our hierarchy and select camera. Let's then reset the transform on our camera. And make sure that this sits at the same position as our player. To do that, we can select our player, right click on his transform, hit copy component. We can then select our camera, right click and hit paste component values. But we want to move our camera up. So let's drag up on our Y to something like 20. Let's also flip the camera so it's facing downwards. We do this by rotating by 90 degrees on the X. And first off, we want to make sure that we have all the same settings as our previous camera, because in most cases you probably want to render the scene in pretty much the same way. To do that, let's select our previous camera, right click, copy component. Let's select our new camera and paste those back in. In my case, this just changed the background to a solid color. Then we can change the projection from perspective to orthographic. This pretty much just removes all perspective from our scene. This is something that almost all minimaps do. It's great because it gives the impression that the scene is laid out flat. We then use the size to zoom out on our minimap, and you can choose the size of your zoom here. You can have it show the entire level at once, or have it only show a small part of your level but then follow around the player. I'm just going to set mine to 15. We can also delete our audio listener, our GUI layer, and our flare layer. we only want to be using the camera. But currently our minimap is overlaid on top of the entire screen. And that's not really the effect we're going for. We want our minimap to be shown as part of our UI. So let's now rename this object, call it minimap camera. Let's go into the scene view and let's create another object. This time we're going to go under UI and we're going to select raw image. We can then switch into 2D mode and hit F to focus on our raw image. Now a raw image is basically like any other UI image component, except it takes in a texture instead of a sprite. This is good because we are basically going to tell our minimap camera to take everything it renders and put it into a texture. This is called a render texture. We can then take that texture and display it on our raw image. Let's select our 2D controls up here. Let's zoom out a bit. And now we can position our minimap where we want. On it. I'm going to anchor mine to the top right here. I'm going to set the offset on the X to -75 and the same thing on the Y. I'm going to set the width and height to something like 170 by 170 and I'm then going to offset it on the X and Y by about 110. So now in our game view, we should see a white square in the top right corner of where our minimap is going to be. But of course we still need to display our texture. To do that, we create a new render texture. Let's go to the project, right click, go create, and now select render texture. And let's call this our minimap render texture. Here we have a bunch of render texture, and let's call this our create a new render texture. Let's go to the project, right click, go create, and now select render texture. And let's call this our minimap render texture. Here we have a bunch of texture settings. We're gonna leave pretty much all of them as is. I'll have a link to where you can read about these in the description. First off, we can set the size to the same as our raw image. Let's set it to 170 by 170. And we can also disable our depth buffer. If we now select our minimap camera, we can see here that there is a target texture variable. And this takes in a render texture. Let's simply drag our minimap render texture into this slot, and
How to create minimap in Unity. This is our first person game that we want to create a little minimap for it in this corner. So create a canvas called canvas minimap. Now to create border for our minimap, create an image and set its options. Then name it border. Create another image, name it minimap. Set its dimensions, then place it at the center of border. To have a minimap, you should create a new camera. Place new camera above the player's head. Then bring it up a bit. After that, change X of rotation to 90 degrees to give us a view from top. We have a view like this. Increase its height a little. The camera projection is on perspective. Change it to orthographic. And adjust its size according to your desired view. Now this is the field of view that we want our minimap to have. From rendering section, uncheck render shadows box so that the camera doesn't render shadows. Then delete audio listener. If your project like me is URP, you have a script like this in camera. Don't touch it. Let's display what this camera shows on the minimap. For this, select minimap, delete image component, and instead of it, add raw image component. Now this raw image needs a texture, so go down here, right click on project and create a render texture called minimap. Up here, make its size the same size as the minimap. And give texture to texture section of raw image. Now only give this texture to camera. So select camera and drag minimap texture towards this section. It's done. Minimap displays this corner. Sometimes there are things that we don't want to render them in the minimap. For example, this house image. So select it and from this section specify a new layer. You can define a new layer by clicking on add layer, which I choose top BTN layer for it. Now select minimap camera and from cooling mask section, uncheck defined layer, I mean top BTN. Now look, any object that has this layer doesn't display in minimap camera. Let's go to next step. Player displaying in minimap is not very clear and we should specify an image for it. Right click on player and create a new canvas and name it canvas mark. Then set render mode on word space and give minimap camera to this section and create an image in child of canvas mark. Now miniaturize image and canvas till its size becomes almost like player's size. Bring it a little upper than player level and change its angle to 90 degrees. Now select a picture for the image which the player is going to display in minimap with it. Increase its height. Now change its size a little till it becomes more clear than before. Now watch. When I press play, player can move across the map. So now make camera player's child, then make its X and Z of position 0. Now minimap is almost finished, but it has a point. If player turns, minimap turns with it too. To fix it, create a new script called limit camera. Drag this script towards camera. In a new canvas and name it canvas mark. Then set render mode on word space. Let's go to next step. Player displaying in minimap is not very clear and we should specify an image for it. Right click on player and create a new canvas and name it canvas mark. Then set render mode on word space and give minimap camera to this section. And create an image. Image in child of canvas mark. Now miniaturize image and canvas till its size becomes almost like player's size. step. Player displaying in minimap is not very clear, and we should specify an image for it. Right click on player and create a new canvas and name it canvas mark. Then set render mode on world space and give minimap camera to this section and create an image in child of canvas mark. Now miniaturize image and canvas. Meet canvas mark. Then set render mode on world space and give minimap camera to this section. And create an image in child of canvas mark. Now miniaturize image and canvas till its size becomes
No one has told me I was muted until you. Thanks for letting me know. The first comment in over, I've been streaming over an hour and a half, so thanks for letting. That happens often. I don't. My microphone has a red light, and it's down and to the right, and I don't pay attention to it because I've got 5 screens. But I'm live. I'm here. How you doing? Let's go down here. Not sure why. Is this? Yeah, it's sometimes I'll like when I get up to go get a snack or something, I'll hit the microphone off and I'll come back and I'll totally forget about it, grab a drink or something, just chatting away for like 5-10 minutes, and someone's will remind me. They'll see my mouth flapping, no words coming out. Oh, Poppy Gamers on, and then my chat's covered up on the YouTube, so we're back in business though. So right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get this mini mat working. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be functional. But right now, what I'm trying doesn't appear to be working that good. I mean, the mini map is working, but I gotta do a couple of things. Because it's rotating, I don't want it to rotate, so I gotta write a script. Well, that right now it's not even following my player. I'm currently shooting tic tacs at things, but it's shooting things. That's all that matters. Tic tac wars. We can run by holding in the left stick, but I don't like that. Honestly, I kind of feel like it's a left trigger, a zoom, right trigger, a shoot. The bumpers left and right aren't doing anything, but I almost feel like run should be a bumper instead of left stick, because I'm using a PlayStation 3 controller and running while clicking. It's more of a Call of Duty thing, and I don't think it makes sense to have it that way. Maybe L1 or L bumper should be the run button. Or you can just use shift, I think. Shift. Oh, WASDs aren't working.
It's almost like player's size.
Interesting. Oh, those controls are completely broken. That's okay. Controls can always be fixed. I mean, they were working. That is kind of odd. Wonder if that happened when I changed controls for the left stick. Doesn't matter. All right. So the UI is not attached to the right camera. Make this bigger. Probably because it's not on top of me. Yeah, because that camera. Okay, I get it. We shouldn't have this top. So he's turning at 90.
Bring it a little upper than player level and change its angle to 90 degrees. Now
The first tutorial I was taking a look at was 8 years old. It was the first result, so that wasn't gonna work clearly. All right, so let's go to this image. We need it to Go on top of the player. Let's copy. Well, first off, X, Y, Z. I don't get how this guy's doing this. Weird.
New canvas and name it canvas mark.
Got a
Then
canvas.
set render mode on world space and
World
give minimap camera
space.
to this section. And create an image in child of canvas mark. Now miniaturize image and canvas till its size becomes almost like player's size.
He's just doing them 2 and 2. Okay. 2, 2. X, Y, and Z is at 0. Good question about. Well, the robot's not going to be in the game. This is just that's just a prototype robot. I still have a lot of work to figure out my character that I started making. But the idea, I'm not even 100% sure on this, but I think I may go the more realistic approach where the robot goes into the Jeep or into the vehicle that he drives. But I also don't know if that's even necessary because I could just have a driving scene and I won't have to go through all the headache of trying to make a player object fit inside of a Jeep object or vehicle object and not make it look stupid. I might just do cutscene and then you're just in the vehicle driving around and then you could do the vehicle scenes that way. So it'll really depend. Well, it's going to be tanks or trucks. It's going to be a little bit of everything. It's not going to be the same vehicle. It's going to depend. You know, that's the idea. That doesn't mean things can't change along the way. Where's the stupid image? See, his image is directly on the player because it's a child of the player. So let's make this a child of the armature. So where's the image? I have no idea how he's doing this. Makes no sense to me. It's still weird.
Bring it a little upper than player level and change its angle to 90 degrees. Now select a picture for...
He changed the rotation of the rectangle. Of the image? Oh yeah, you can actually do that. I didn't notice that. Rotation of X to 90. So then player, we're going to copy this position, take this image, and we're going to paste the position. But if it's, it should just be on top. But it's not. Oh, because the canvas isn't. Alright. There we go. That's what we want. Then make this 0. Hey, now we're smart. Now we're learning. So we just put it here. Now, since this is a UI, you shouldn't be able to see it there.
For the image which the player is going to display in minimap with it.
Yeah, let's change the image. Image is terrible. YouTube icon. I only have. Oh, because it's gotta go up. Oh, it is visible on that camera. Alright, so then what we want to do is with the camera, the main camera, I think we need to make a layer.
Increase its height. Now change its size a little till it becomes more clear than before. Now watch. When I press play, player can move across the map. So now make camera player's child, then make its X and Z.
Oh, now we make the minimap camera a child of the player.
Z of position 0. Now minimap is almost finished, but it has a point. If player turns, minimap turns with it too. To fix it, create a new script called limit camera. Drag the script towards camera. In a script, use late update void and define a game object called player. With this script, we equal camera position to X and Z of player position, and instead of Y, write 40.
So minimap. Hold on.
Minimap turns with it too. To fix it, create a new script called limit camera. Drag the script to.
This dude English is rough, man. It is rough. Limit camera. Oh, that's what he said. Okay, we can do that. And he put that on top of the camera minimap camera. So add component. Call it limit camera. New scripts. Let that do its thing. I do want to get rid of that. There's a way to do it. You have to give it its own layer and then remove the layer from being rendered in that camera, but I'm not worried about it right now. Right now, we just need to limit camera. It's like we do that.
Towards camera. In a script, use late update void and define a game object called player.
Okay.
With this script, we equal camera position to x and z of player position, and instead of y, write 40.
So we're doing a late update. Do we need to start? Doesn't look like we do. Or get player transform. Transform. Position X only. If we don't need anything else. 40. So Y position. Z is probably going to be solid three positions.
Now take off camera from player's child and make canvas mark child of camera.
Canvas child of camera. Okay. Mini map out. Canvas in. Then put your player.
And for mark, we must define a new layer like before.
Hold on, did that even work? No, because you have to add the game player. You gotta fix that too. I don't know what's going on with the keyboard controls. So minimap script is looking for player object, which is this. We're gonna put this here. Set play. All right, we got a minimap. And the next thing I would need to do, and I don't need to do that now, but once I start building out this level, I want to have it where trackable dots for your objective, so that you know where to go, or expand the map and have something. But that's down the road, man. I ain't even worried about that too much. I do want to put a border around this and make this a little bit smaller. This seems kind of big. Those details, again, aren't that important. So that part's fantastic. We just need to get rid of that guy. I think we do that with a layer.
In the game. At last, give player to player of limit camera. Now the minimap is
At last, give player to... Oh, yeah.
complete. It moves when player moves, and
Yeah.
when rotating, it stays fixed. If you want, you can by changing alpha of minimap and border.
Yeah, I do want to change the alpha, but I want the border... Minimap cam... Wait, how did it do that? Rendering? How did it do that? Oh, she's doing that from raw image. Right. So we go here. Adjust the alpha. And make it a little bit like so. Oh, if we put in another image, which I kind of want to do, but insert UI image. Right, and then we put this. If I made this a circle, it would probably be better. So we actually need this to be here. We want focus on it, put this in 2D. Take this raw image. Let me just copy this whole transform. Copy it. Put it right on this. Yeah, it didn't work. Copy component. Well, maybe we don't necessarily need to do that. So we're going to make this black. This image. Move it behind. A little bit of a border. So if we take this, like this and this, and then we scale it. Like that. Move it up. Then, I guess we need to do both. Well, we could do the alpha. I guess we wouldn't need to do the alpha if it's small enough.
Decrease the whole map opacity to get a better first-person view. I hope this tutorial was useful for you, and make sure follow our another tutorials. It moves when player moves, and with rotating, fix it, create a new script called limit camera. Drag the script with the set of camera. And for mark, we must define a new layer, like before, to not be seen in the game. At last, give player to player of limit camera. Now the minimap is complete. It moves.
He forgot to do it. I feel like I saw that though. Maybe because he did it somewhere else. I think he did it here.
Place new camera above the player's head. Change X of. The camera projection is on perspective. Change it as it's what we want our minimap to have. From rendering section on, then delete audio listener. If you for this, instead of it, add raw image needs a texture. For example, this house image. So select it, and from this section specify a new layer. You can define a new layer by clicking on add.
Define a new layer. So we need to add this image as a layer, or this canvas as a layer.
Layer.
So we go to it's up here now. This image. Add layer. We're gonna call this, what did he call it?
Which I choose top BTN layer for it.
The hover. Okay, let me go back. The image. make this layer a hover. Then main camera.
Now select minimap camera, and from cooling mask section, uncheck defined layer.
Culling mask. Oh, and rendering culling mask. Okay. See now, rendering culling mask. Just deselect. Okay. Will it disappear when I hit play? It will. Does it disappear from my other map? It doesn't. Sweet. Let's shoot some Tic Tacs. That's the other thing too. I shoot. So I think if I hold the left trigger, we will shoot, we'll pull up this, and then we'll shoot. Then we won't shoot when we're walking. Unless we're aiming. That could be a decent mechanic. But it's not a first person shooter. Okay. Now we're doing things. Save. To create a minimap with pins in Unity, you'll need to set up a separate camera, render scene texture, then overlay the texture. Create a new map. I'm curious about this.
Hi everyone and welcome to CodeFriend. Today there is really no need for an introduction. You already know what a minimap is. You've seen plenty of them in your favorite games. So let's get straight to business. Our minimap system will be based on the use of an additional camera. It will be placed above our character and will give us an overall view of the scene. Let's create this camera by right-clicking in the hierarchy and select.
Does he have a rotation in his camera?
Our minimap system will be based on the use of an additional camera. It will be placed near your game object. Reset the transform, rotation, place mine in the top right corner. So let's change the window. I can now see this render texture. And the camera is not following the player. Let's fix is to. I think this is definitely the way to go, so I'd recommend that. Let's proceed. Get the camera out of the player game object if you did, and let's calculate position the new position of our object, so our camera. Circular and make it look even better. Don't leave the video yet, I still have a couple things to show you. To make this minimap circular, we need to create a mask. But to create it, you'll need to download this file, which basically is just a white circle. The download link is in the description. You can import it in your project. Make sure to change its type to Sprite 2D and UI.
You don't actually need that. Let's see. Oh, maybe you do, huh?
And also in the advanced section, make sure that alpha is transparency is checked.
Yeah. We're gonna use this thing to see if I can get it to work.
Then press apply. Get back into our scene view and right-click the canvas to create a new image.
Okay.
We can place this image at the exact same spot and size.
Alright, so if we take, because I already have an image there. So we have canvas, image. Oh, that's not the right canvas. This is canvas at the raw image. Image. We're gonna change the sprite. But like if you create 2D object, sprite, circle, how does this not? Does it need? Let's just do this one. Oh, maybe not. All right, so we'll go back to this image. We're gonna drop this in. Okay, well now we have the circle. Great.
As our minimap. Replace its source image by our circle mask, and you can add a new mask component.
New mask component to the image. We're on it.
To this same object. You should
Can't even read it. What does it
shouldn't
say?
see any difference for now.
Mask. It's just a mask. Mask.
Now this is totally normal because the mask is only applied to the children of the same object. Let's rename this object minimap mask, and then we can drag and drop our minimap object into it.
Minimap mask. Okay. Oh no, it's actually working. It's just this is too small. So we need to expand it. So we'll do that by going the raw image, rectangle, scale. No, should be able to. I don't know why that's like that. So we say 150 by 150, 250 by 250. See how it looks maximized up. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, if I made, the only thing is, it's cool, but like, is it helpful? This question. Shoot some Tic Tacs up into the sky. I think that's pretty cool, honestly. To start. So now we have a basic walk around shoot things, but there's nothing to shoot. So we need to solve that problem. We don't have sound effects, really. That's fine. We don't need sound effects yet. That's called polish. We're all out of polish. But it's all working. That's always nice. I do want to change some of the controls, but that, like I said, it's not really. Actually, I kind of want to see what's going on with the controls with the keyboard, because without controls on the keyboard, things are going to be kind of a problem. So let's move this up here. That cam. All this stuff shouldn't have to touch now. So we need shooting birds, maybe. Eventually there'll be stuff to shoot. What I could do is I could just put something out here. It won't have any AI yet. I do have an AI script on a different project that I could use. Let me actually take a look at that and just put some stuff out there. Like big rolling ball, you can shoot it. You can destroy it. That'll be the next thing. But right now I need to figure out. I have to make sure I got the camera. Wow, actually, let me see what's going on here. See, now when I try to move, I can't. Mouse is fine. So I need to go to my controls. Input system. There's the arrows as well, left stick. Oh, I wonder if that's gamepad, that's gamepad. Mouse. Yeah, I don't know why that's being like that. Works with the controller. Works with the controller just fine. Actually, something's conflicting. I wonder because they're both at the same time. Oh, I may have just crashed it. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Assign as a project-wide input actions. These actions are not assigned as a project-wide input actions for the input system. The actions currently assigned as a project-wide input actions are asset. Okay. I don't know why it's telling me that. Let me unplug the controller. Joystick connected. Okay. So now we're just gonna play. Not the thing. Who doesn't know? There's no reason for that to be happening. There's something up with my. Okay. If your character stops walking in Unity's new input system after using a keyboard, the problem might be due to Unity overriding the keyboard input with a joystick input, or the input system not correctly detecting the input. That sounds about right. Several potential solutions include disabling joystick input, checking the active handling settings, therefore the correct event component is present, and ensuring timescale is not set to 0. But my joystick isn't even connected. Where is it? What? It is connected wirelessly. I didn't know that. Maybe that's what's going on. All right. Oh, that's funny. I mean, that's great. I just assumed I had to have it plugged in the whole time. Okay, so that's the situation. So it's confused because I'm using joystick at the same time. All right, at least that makes sense. I can accept that. All right, so let's make let's see if I can make an object come get me. Opening up a different project where I have some stuff. I might actually have something. Let's see, what do we have in our project settings here? We have prefabs, casings, demo, weapons, projectiles, effects. Starter assets may have something. Input system, environment, person controller, character, models, sound effects. Collection. All right, so I think I need to open up some documents, desktop. Tanks, assets, art, models, tanks, before I do that, we need scene settings, prefabs. Let's make a new folder. This is tank monster model. Material. At least the wheels are black. Let's change that to sweet red. Right, now we need some scripts. Assets, tanks, scripts, UI. Tank AI. So if we do models, create folder, tank scripts, drop all these bad boys right here. Assets, models, tank scripts, CS, blah blah blah. This type of namespace in the game manager cannot be found if you're missing using a directive or an assembly reference. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Game manager. There is a game manager script. Link manager, game manager. We'll pop that right in there. of compile errors. Power up HD. It's gonna drop all the scripts in there and make it happy. I wish it would stop doing that. Alright. What's broke now? Camera controller. Message text reference could not be found. Are you missing using the reference? I'm not. Message text reference. So we need this one. Well, hooray. The controller. Oh, it's over here. Yes, it doesn't have a rigid body. It's fine. It's here though. Looks cool. It's a little on the small side. Okay. So if we go to this object, we add box collider, edit it, go up to the top, back. Oh, oh. No, stop. Opponent. Tank. AI. What's the tank AI script? State seek or flee. Takes movement. Shooting. All this stuff. On a wake. It just gets the component. So we need a tank movement, tank shooting component. Okay, let's just do this. Movement. Tank shooting. Movement, tank shooting. This will need movement audio, engine driving, pitch. Is computer controlled? Yes. Shell, fire transform, aim slider, shoot audio, charge clip, fire clip. Yeah, it's not gonna work because it doesn't have all the other stuff attached to it. Pretty sure it needs like an input manager. Let me take a look at the tanks. See if we get this tank to try to attack us. I mean, I do have other scripts. Probably use. I just have to modify them for 3D environment, not 2D environment. So if we go to environment, let's just take this whole section and just plop it right in here, honestly. I get rid of this. It's already 9:15. I gotta get going. AI. Yeah, so what we got to do is we have to get rid of scripts. TMP settings. Sure. All right, now if we do prefabs, tanks, got this guy out here. We have to, but this is going to be loud. I don't know why it has to be so freaking loud, but it is. Volume to 2. I think it fell through. Just see if that's exactly what happened. So confused because he's still underneath. Why is this dude not rendering? He doesn't have a layer. Do you want this set to default for all children of this object? Yeah. This guy's hurting because he doesn't know where I am. We can fix that. Tank. Audio. None of the scripts are attached, so that's a problem. So let's get that going. Let's open up the prefab. And I'll also do it on the other project you guys can't see. Just gonna get this tank going and then that'll be it for tonight. So when you tank shooting, save failed. Why? There's saving assets. You are trying to save a prefab with. Please change the script or remove it. What? That makes no sense. Anyway, we're gonna go here. Tank shooting, tank movement. Tank health. We need movement audio. Let's search. Actually, tank. Yeah, go with tank movement. I guess we'll start with tank shooting. Tank shooting needs complete shell. Fire transform gets from here. Aim slider gets here. Audio. Shooting audio is just tank audio source. Tank audio source. Tank explosion. Oh, do I take it from here? Right. Okay, so we were taking the charging clip. Charging clip is shot charging. Fire clip. Shot firing. Then we're 520.75. Okay, tank. Tank movement is next. We just need another reference to tank. Engine idle. Engine idle. Driving. Engine driving. Fine. We need tank health scripts. We need a health slider, which is we need health slider fill area. Health slider fill area. Fill. Explosion prefab. It's tank explosion. Okay. He's stuck on a y-axis. See you later, dude. See you later. Oh wait, is he even AI controlled? Hold on. It should be. It has gravity. Constraints. Do not freeze position by. Layer overrides. I'm not concerned about that. Output. Don't care about that. Care about that. Tank shooting. Shell transform. Player. Damage. It's direct control now. It's computer controlled. Yes. Tank movement. Now, how does he know where to go? That's the question. Unless he just goes after tag. I need to figure out how they wrote this script. Rigid body reference used to move the tank. Rigid body tank input user. On enable. Systems on disable. Start. It's controlled. Yes. Fair. Get component tank AI. AI equals if it's null, game object. Add tank AI. We also need to look at the tank AI script. Control index Yeah. Mobile control. Update. Movement. Engine audio. Pix update. Camera main transform towards forward. Move speed. Speed input. Movement. Turn. Alright, I think it's just constantly looking for me. So I think we need use control mode. Tank input user. Contains the input system use that is linked to the tank. This take care of copying the default inputs in the project settings. Okay. Tank input, tank movement, tank AI. Path to find. Only trigger pathfind after this last target position, the position of target in the last frame. To lighten the load on the CPU, the tanks do not pathfind to their target every single frame. Tab mesh. So they're looking for tank 1. So I have to make them think that I am a tank somehow. How am I going to do that? Movement. It's got to have tank. It's got to have these on there. All tanks. Find object by tank movement. So I would need to modify this. Let's find. Alright, so this script isn't going to work. Is what they're saying. Because if I put another tank, it will know it because it's looking for other tanks. Alright, that's fine. Let's put this guy over here. We're gonna make this direct control. Alright. That's a whole lot of something. But that's gonna do it for me tonight. We're getting there. I gotta come up with my own stuff, my own scripts. Just trying to mess around with some things. I did manage to get the mini map working, which is great. I need to work on my models. I need to work on the story. I need to work on level design. There's a lot of different things I can work on. But that's probably going to be it until Sunday. But tomorrow I will be playing Total Recall on the NES. Let's try to beat it. We're gonna move on from there. So let me just make sure I save all my stuff. This has been a lot. This has been a ton. Super amount. Deleted items. It's fine. Update. Checking. Yeah, when all this stuff gets worked out, then that's when the fun happens. Because then I'm gonna start making my missions, objectives, level design, actually playing a game. Right now, I'm just working out all the little things. Little things are big things, but I'm working out all the little stuff so that eventually I can just start the creative process and we'll be good to go. And making, well, what's it do with this? 157 items. Added, private, check in, more. But yeah, tomorrow night, Total Recall. We're going to beat the game. I may have to practice. Why it just doesn't. Just push everything in. All right. Yeah, I mean, like even like right now, it looks kind of basic, but that's like the idea. It could be a lot better. Right now, I mean, the world is huge. This is just one level. I haven't decided whether it's just gonna make it one big open world. It doesn't seem like it needs to be that way, but the idea is we're gonna start off somewhere, then we have to walk somewhere else, defeat some things, go to a building of some sort, go inside, complete our mission, and then we'll end up back at a headquarters, or we'll go to a new headquarters and we'll upgrades. We'll see. But we're making some progress. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully you're enjoying the stream. I'll be on tomorrow night on Golden Ogre Games, playing some retro games. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.